Alrighty, so I got a lot of things on my pull list. This is from Marvel and the Indies. If you guys are looking for the video where I talk about everything in my DC pull list, I did that last week, so definitely go check that out. But this is everything Marvel and the Indies that are on my pull list. These are things that are on my pull list currently, but we'll also get into things that I've since dropped and things that I've added too. So yeah, let's get into it, man. So the first thing on my Marvel pull list, guys, we're starting off with all of the Ultimates titles, right? So you got Ultimate Spider-Man, number 17, that was pretty good. The Ultimates, and then we have Ultimate Wolverine. So these are the current 3 Ultimates titles that are on my pull list, besides Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, that came out last week. That's also going to be added to my pulls. But yeah, dude, Ultimate Spider-Man has been really great so far. If you guys have been reading it, you already know. But Jonathan Hickman is just cooking with this one. Sometimes we have art from, oh my god, we have Kaketo on art. So excellent stuff when that's the case. Sometimes we get a guest artist in Messina. Still good so far. The Ultimates, though. The Ultimates has been really, really solid from Dennis Camp and Frugeri. Dennis Camp is just one of the best writers in the game right now, and Frugeri is a really great collaborator, artistic collaborator with Dennis Camp. I did an entire video on Dennis Camp and some of my favorite series from Dennis Camp and why I think he's the best comic book writer. I'll leave that linked here or something like that. But so if you want more of an explanation on why the Ultimates is a series to pull, definitely check that out. But what I would say is Dennis Camp's doing new stuff all the time in the Ultimates. You never know what you're going to be reading, kind of what comic book norms he's going to break in the next issue. It should be really fun, man. So great Ultimate stuff. And then we have Ultimate Wolverine from Chris Condon. This series is interesting so far. Not every single one has been like an ultra super smash hit, you know, out of the park or whatever. But I think that kind of the story that he's got going on so far with, you know, his body has been controlled, his mind has been controlled. He's, you know, bodily autonomy and stuff like that, right? I think it's pretty interesting. It seems like he has since broken out of the hold due to the help that he got from some of the freedom fighters or whatever in this universe. So we'll have to see if Ultimate Wolverine is going to take like another turn in this series, if he's going to be a good guy and start going down that route with issue number 6 coming up soon. But the Ultimates titles have been really solid so far. I'm not currently pulling Ultimate Black Panther. That's one that I've since dropped. And I've also dropped Ultimate X-Men from Peach Momoko. Not bad by any means, both of those series. Just not my favorite, I guess, right? Like nothing I need to pull in single issues. Maybe go back and trade wait for Ultimate X-Men. For Ultimate Black Panther, I don't know, dude. That series was kind of a mess, I'm not gonna lie. Just the pacing was just so off. Like you get 14 issues and like it feels like barely anything's happened. But yeah, that's the Ultimate titles as of right now. I'm pulling 3 of them, 4 if you include that Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion stuff. Next up, let's talk about Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. So obviously this is a mini series, 2 out of 3, but I wanted to mention it here because Charles Soule and Steve McNiven just killing it, dude. Such a fun series, really loving it. Issue number 2 was out. We're waiting on issue number 3, and then the series will conclude. So if you guys are waiting to trade wait it, that would be pretty smart. But yeah, just some really excellent stuff. I'm really glad I added it to my pull because this issue number 2 was one of the best things I read in this last month, right, for the month of May. So that's it for the Marvel pulls, guys. I don't read a ton of Marvel at all. So if this was just a Marvel video, it'd be very short. But that's why I wanted to add on to the Image stuff, or the indie stuff as well. But in terms of Marvel series that I've added to my pull list, so this is stuff that hasn't come out yet, but I've let my shop know that I want it when it comes out, right? So the Captain America series with writer Chip Zdarsky, I'm adding that to my pull for the first 3 issues. We're going to check it out, see what's going on with that. But pretty interesting to see Chip Zdarsky jumping on the Captain America title. The Fantastic Four title, I'm jumping on that once it restarts with volume number 1. That's a series, you know, Ryan North's Fantastic Four. I've been collecting it in trades. I think I have trade number 4 over there. 3 or 4. I can't remember. But I'm just going to add the new volume to my pull. That way I don't have to miss out. I don't have to wait on trades. Wait for Marvel Unlimited to add stuff. I want in on the hype. Ryan North just killing it with Fantastic Four, so I want in. And then we also added Ultimate Hawkeye. So in the Ultimate Universe, it seems like Hawkeye is getting his own spin-off series. I don't know if it's going to be an ongoing. I don't know if it's just a mini. But Hawkeye was a really standout character in this Ultimates title whenever he pops up. So Ultimate Hawkeye, dude, that should be cool. Now, let's get into the indie series. The indie series that I have on my pull list. Speaking of Dennis Camp, dude, Assorted Christ Events, my favorite anthology series on stands. I think it's just so sick. All the different timey-wimey sci-fi-ness of it really reminds me of something like Twilight Zone or something like that, right? But with Dennis Camp, Eric Zawadzki, Belair, Osman Alehu, it's just a really strong creative team. Favorite anthology on stands. Gotta add to the poll. Next up, we got the Power Fantasy, Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. Might be my favorite image book on stands, dude, because there's just so much going on with this. You have all these different superpowered heroes, and they each have the power to destroy the world, like individually, right? But they have to try really hard not to. So you got this like really tense kind of like pressure building up throughout this series. 9 issues in, and it seems like the world could end at any moment, dude. So crazy revelations. You have superpowered kids that were never known to the public. That's gonna change things up, shake things up, and just really interesting kind of power sets, really interesting kind of characters, a lot of history going on between them all. Just really interesting stuff, man. Really interesting character study here with Power Fantasy. Cool world building too if you're into like alternate history. Power Fantasy, really good stuff, man. Especially the artwork from Casper Wingard, just beautiful, dude. Transformers with issue number 20. This is a series that I'm really enjoying. We got Daniel Warren Johnson writing with Jorge Corona, Mike Spicer, of course. Really great stuff so far. I think that Daniel Warren Johnson is hopping off the title after 24, and I think that's where I might hop off as well. I just said I was liking this series, but I'm not like the biggest Transformers guy, right? Like as I'm reading this, I'm liking what's going on. I like the characters, right? But I'm not like all about the Transformers, right? I'm reading it because Daniel Warren Johnson, of course, has got that the heart. Jorge Corona's got that insane, awesome artwork. If you guys are into Transformers, I bet you're loving this stuff, dude. Pretty cool stuff, pretty epic. I'm not a Transformers guy. Exquisite Corpses #1 from Tiny Onion, James Tynion IV, Michael Walsh, Belair, Carey as well on the lettering. Exquisite Corpses is one of the best issue #1s of the year so far. It's got to be the best issue #1. Really just love the kind of setup. It's a battle royale between all these different rich people. They have sponsored like a serial killer, and all the serial killers are doing like a battle royale. Whoever wins gets to own and rule the country for 5 years or whatever it is. Really interesting kind of setup. The fact that it takes place in Maine too. I can look outside my window and maybe it's happening in the next town over. Pretty funny. Exquisite Corpses, just a great kind of slasher horror series that they've got set up so far. Another one if you like alternate history, definitely check that out. Bug Wars, Jason Aaron, Mohamed Aswar, and Matthew Wilson. Becca Carey again, of course. This is great stuff, man. So picture Ant Bully, like where that kid gets shrunken down, but then he gets shrunken down into the world of Game of Thrones, but they're bugs, right? So you have all these different clans all over the backyard. There's the spider witches, there's the mites, and then the ants, and then the beetle riders, and really cool stuff, man. So this kid is kind of just lost in his own backyard, but all the different bugs, there's kind of like societies all around, and just the world building alone in this series is really impressive stuff from Jason Aaron and Mohamed Aswar. Really fun stuff, man. So Bug Wars, definitely a series that's climbing my favorites out of Image Comics. Just ton of fun, man. Ton of fun with this one. So Bug Wars. Next up, we got We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. This is a great spy series from Matthew Rosenberg. Landini on the art with Wordy and Otsman Alehu. So if you're into like spy kind of thrillers, the kind of vibe I would describe for this one, you guys know that show Archer, that like spy show out of Comedy Central or whatever. I forgot what it was on. Adult Swim? I forget. We're Taking Everyone Down With Us is that kind of vibe. So it's that funny, kind of humorous spy kind of world. But in this, we get a protagonist named Annalise. She's a little girl who's really smart, really capable. And then we get the robot who has the brain of her dad downloaded in the robot brain. So yeah, just interesting stuff. We get different opposing spy organizations, and Annalise and the robot are kind of caught up in the middle of it. I'm loving it, dude. We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. Funny as hell, dude, with that Matthew Rosenberg writing. You'll Do Bad Things is next up. This is a great slasher series from Tyler Boss and Turtolici. So whenever this writer, he writes like horror, crime stuff. Whenever he puts pen to paper, that horror story ends up happening, coming true. So the writer has to deal with all that, man. I mean, people just keep dying every time he writes a dang story. So interesting stuff. But each issue so far has a really great like slasher sort of horror chase scene, rendered beautifully from Turtleichi. Really impressive stuff. I'm liking this one, dude. It's gonna be a favorite of mine when it's all said and done. Plague House out of Oni Press. Michael W. Conrad with Dave Chisholm on the art. Excellent stuff, man. I'm really loving this one. Initially kind of started off as these 3 people going into different haunted houses, trying to clear it out, figure out what's going on, and they have a TV show while they're doing it, right? But there's a twist that happens in this issue number 2 that flips the entire series on its head, man. So really loving the direction of that twist. Excellent artwork from Dave Chisholm. One of the best artists in the game, especially in a horror series. Really cool seeing Dave Chisholm jumping on this horror series, man. So I'm loving this one out of Oni Press. Definitely trade weight this one, guys. I'm dead serious, man. That's some cool stuff. Same, Oni Press with another one. We got Out of Alcatraz, issue number 3. Tyler Crook on the art and Christopher Cantwell. So these 3 people on the cover, 2 of them, not this girl. These 2 people escaped from Alcatraz. It's a true story that happened, but this is kind of like a retelling of what happened after they had escaped. So what if they didn't, die and die when they were trying to escape, and they went off and had like a little bit of adventure, right? So the adventure's not good though. Let me make that clear. They're working with this girl to try to, obviously they're on the run from the cops. But the people that they're trying to work for are saying, hey, we'll give you guys new identities, we'll clear your name, get you set up in Canada, whatever. You just have to kill some people for me. So really interesting kind of crime series going on here with Out of Alcatraz. I'm loving it. Issue number 1, I didn't know what to expect from the series, but issue number 2, issue number 3 definitely hit those high points, man. So that's what we got. All of the different indie series that I have on my pull list, right? But I'll let you guys know some stuff that I've since dropped and added, right? So news from the Fallout, new series from writer Chris Condon and artist Jeffrey Allen Love. That's going to be pretty cool. Added that to my pull. The Voice Said Kill. This is one from Cy Spurrier with artwork from Vanessa Del Rey, I think. Just based on that, I'm definitely picking that one up. The Voice Said Kill. That sounds pretty cool. Escape is another series from Rick Remender. I'm not sure who the artist is on that. I forgot. I think it's the artist that was on that Captain America Avengers series written by Chip Zdarsky. It took place like in the future. You know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So I think that's the artist on this Rick Remender Escape series. We also have Invisible Man, and then I've added Geiger to my pulls, guys. I added Geiger to my pulls. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I also added that sequel series to my pulls. And then TMNT. I added TMNT to my pulls. So that's everything that I've added. Looking at stuff that I've dropped. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that's what we got. That's my Marvel pull list and my indie pull list. Yeah, definitely check out all the other topics. We did weekly comic book reviews. We talked about my my Marvel and my indie pull list. We talked about some comic book video games. And then, of course, we did this comic book mail call, dude. So that's what we got. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out any of the other topics. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics.